into a boat?
Oh, wait.
It's all part of the plan.
God's plan.
Welcome to the Instant Prison Murder Film Club podcast, episode 1. Yesterday we watched Mr. Deeds.
Oh.
A terrible film. No, actually, okay.
No, that was
so-
probably one of Adam Sandler's best films because he didn't play an absolute moron for once.
He didn't go full retard, and he didn't play. Well, he did play. How to phrase it? All the other movies he plays like an asshole that is also like absurdly violent, and in this one he was a good guy. He was also absurdly violent, which makes him a Yakuza character, which is bizarre.
He curb checked some poor dude, didn't he?
He threw a trash can at him.
He did a lot of stuff in that movie. He was a very violent individual for little to no reason. Like, I mean, I get it if somebody shit talks you, but you don't need to kill them because of it.
Well, the important part is that he beat the hell out of them, and then he had a chat with them. He had a little heart to heart.
It's true.
Hey, he had his
get a job, pal.
He had his self-defense punches for the mugger. You know?
Yeah. He was doing the right thing ultimately.
So
honestly, Mr. Deeds might become the next Batman with that level of punching caliber he's got.
He could.
He's got the money for it.
Okay. So Mr. Deeds is a 2004. Is that what it was?
No idea.
So.
Mr. Deeds is let's see what Wikipedia has to say about it. Mr. Deeds is a 2002 American comedy film directed by Stephen Brill, written by Tim Hurley, and produced by Sid Ganis and Jack Giaraputo. That's a good Italian name. It stars Adam Sandler in the title role alongside Winona Ryder. Was this public? Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Was this?
Goodly, it's titular role, not title role.
It says title
Fuck
role.
you.
That's what Wikipedia says. I don't know what to tell you. No.
Well, don't you know Wikipedia's wrong?
Wait, this is bizarre. The film is a remake of the 1936 Frank Capra film Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, which itself was based on the 1935 short story Opera Hat by Clarence Buddington Kellan. That means that, okay, so this is something we didn't know.
It's based on the 1850 short story A Roadside Picnic.
So this implies that if it's a remake, they basically just took the plot of the original movie and then added wanton violence to it, which is actually awesome.
Don't you know this is what you're saying? This is actually back around. And it is based on the 2024 movie Red One, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What I've collected from this is that it's actually a really good movie because it just adds
anyone who's going to watch
it. They're visionaries. They managed to remake a movie that hadn't been made yet.
Mommy, look, senseless violence.
So,
yay!
So apparently it's a 2002 movie, which means that means that I don't know how long the production cycle was, and I just closed the Wikipedia article and I don't want to open it up again. But that means that it probably was a couple of shots, depending on when they recorded the film, where Twin Towers were in the background and they had to edit them out.
Well, all I'm saying is that one scene in the helicopter where they both look back and give thumbs up. You can't tell me that that's not the perfect spot to put the Twin Towers.
Yeah. So here, let's do the plot. So the plot of Mr. Deeds is that the coolest man to ever live dies while climbing Mount Everest, while also with the most experienced mountain team ever created. Because apparently they're able to scale down to the bottom of Mount Everest in an hour, 3 hours. Well, he
quick.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just gonna go back home.
Hold on.
I was curious. Several sequences were filmed in New York City from spring of 2001. Following the September 11, 2001 attacks, images of the World Trade Center towers were digitally removed from several shots of New York City. The Blake Media Hotel. Oh, that doesn't matter. But yes, they digitally removed the Twin Towers to canonize the fact that 9/11 happened in the Mr. Deeds universe.
I can't believe they didn't handle the conversation of how Mr. Deeds would have handled 9/11.
I think he could have stopped it.
If he were on that plane, things would have gone different.
If he was on that plane, yeah.
Who's the guy? Marky Mark?
I love Marky Mark.
I love Marky Mark.
If Marky Mark was on one of the planes and the Funky Bunch were on the other two, would it have gone differently?
Oh, yeah.
It would have gone differently.
They would have
both the planes would have inevitably crashed into each other.
No, but that is differently, isn't it? I can't believe he actually got on TV.
If I were on that plane, things would have gone differently,
Things would have gone different.
Okay,
I'm
so
not saying I'm built different, but I'm also saying I'm built different.
I'm also saying that Al Qaeda ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plot of Mr. Deeds, for those of you who have never seen it, who
I
is
think
none
people
of
have
us,
seen it.
because it's going to be us watching this episode. If we get somebody who watches this because like YouTube does the weird thing where they recommend movies that have no views to people, don't expect quality. Anyway,
we're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
I hope
It's
no
our
one
bad.
watches
Keep in
this.
mind, we're already like 10 minutes in, and now we're apologizing.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes in. I'm watching the count.
Yeah, well, you can't get those 5 minutes back.
You can't get them back. So
There's
part of the
there's a
film
no refund agreement.
is that the coolest dude ever made. His name's like William Blake or something like that. He's climbing Mount Everest with the most experienced team ever because he's up at the peak of summit of Mount Everest, and then they tell him we got to go back down, and they do it in 3 hours. But William Blake decides to go up to the top himself, and he summits Mount Everest at the cost of his life, and he dies of a massive smile on his face, which makes me think that he went there to die. Anyway,
I mean, he was old.
he dies with nobody, no direct family members, and nothing written on his will. So they do a bunch of like genetic testing to figure out what's going on, and they discovered that this dude who is Adam Sandler, named Longfellow Deeds, because he's got a really cool, stupid 1800s name, and they discovered that he is actually his great nephew or something like that. And he's from this small town in New Hampshire where everybody knows him, and he also might be a cult leader. And
Yeah, think about it. He's a pizza delivery guy who's the most well-to-do citizen of that town. Like, there's something going on there.
he's got to pay for the Yakimo.
What you putting in the pizza there, Mikey?
Yeah.
Hey, Longfellow, hey Deeds, what are you putting in the fucking pizza? And then the two guys that are like the chief executive officers of the CFOs of the company go out to the town in New Hampshire, right? New Hampshire that he lives in, and they tell him, "Oh man, you have a $40 billion inheritance coming your way," and he goes, "Oh, that's cool," and then he continues to work for his pizza place. So they have to basically kidnap him by telling him that he'll make $40 billion, and he's like, "All right, that sounds cool." So
keep in mind real quick, it should be noted, he does drop one of the most fucking hard-ass philosophical lines, being ain't nothing wrong with delivering pizza.
It's true.
That's all.
He's
pursuing happiness instead of money, and I fuck with that.
Well, the whole movie he pursues happiness, but for some reason he's incredibly violent about it.
Good.
Some
people need to beat the fuck out of other people to pursue happiness.
You should be a
It's a constitutionally protected right.
If you ain't throwing hands, are you making plans?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's another thing. Rhythm on this movie. Or rhyming.
The rhyming. He's got like this. He's like, his real goal in life is to get one of his poems published in a greeting card by Hallmark. And he's so passionate about it that he beats up a bunch of rich people in a restaurant later in the movie. Anyway, so then they take him to New York, and they stop at a Wendy's along the way, which is where you get a really good scene. We have to preface the fact that most Adam Sandler movies are unfunny because they keep approaching like really uncomfortable,
borderline
fucked up and uncomfortable stuff, like beating up disabled kids and like being a pedophile. And this one, they don't really do that. Yeah, they don't really do that in this movie.
I think the biggest crime outside of the numerous assault charges was probably landing in the McDonald's or Wendy's parking lot.
Yeah, I think that's the worst crime they committed, was landing.
I don't know what kind of crime that would be other than like
shameless product placement.
Shameless product.
So then,
you have the Game Awards to thank for that one.
So, dude, that fucking trailer for the Naughty Dog game that had like Adidas and like Porsche and like everything had a company logo on it, that made me lose my mind. Yeah, no, Naughty Dog's coming out with a new game that has like everything on it belongs to a real life. I don't remember. It was so like forgettable. Besides the fact,
silly name.
Yeah, it had some kind of silly name, but like, there's just a bunch of like product placements everywhere. The ship that the
No,
main character.
intergalactic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Because we were angry that it didn't use the Beastie Boys. But yeah, the ship that the character flies in space is a Porsche.
It is. Hold
It
on.
is.
I'm
Yeah,
pulling
yeah,
up the
yeah, it
trailer
has
right
Porsche
Yeah,
on
now.
the
pull
right.
up the trailer. We're going on a side quest. And it looked really cool until
It'd
we
be
saw
great,
the
but my
Porsche
ad
logo.
blocker is
The
breaking
Porsche spaceship.
YouTube right now, so hold on. It's
So,
really wanting to play the 15-second ad, but it just can't.
I really want to imagine, right? What happened was not that they paid Naughty Dog, but Naughty Dog paid them because they're like, oh, people will see advertisement and come to our game.
So
Yeah, it's at like the very end. It's at like the very end.
no,
Don't-
it's at the
please don't
start
make
with
this-
the Porsche like thing.
The Porsche?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I thought it
Porsche
was at
shows
the-
up like at the beginning of the commercial.
Oh,
It's
I thought it was at
weird.
the. I thought it was at the end where she flies off.
Intergalactic planet.
I wonder if they made a language.
Probably
No.
not. Anyway,
Oh wait, maybe.
see the Porsche?
No.
Nope.
Okay, hold on, just let it run.
Okay. I mess with the. It reminds me a lot of Void Crew, but I mess with that backdrop.
Are we gonna have to include this video in the video?
No. This will
No.
be a supplementary work.
You got to remember,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
have to go find-
podcast. If you want to know what we're talking about, you have to watch it.
That's fair.
Okay, that's a very.
This is also
oh
a
yeah,
podcast for
Porsche,
us.
right
There
there.
it is. There it is. It's the Porsche
Right in your face.
spaceship.
Oh my
That
Um,
is a sick-looking spaceship. But
and then it has the Porsche logo on the back of it. Okay.
God, I love Porsche.
So-
Ah.
And then they fly to New York in a helicopter, and they have a really good scene where they sing Space Oddity, and then what was the other song? No, it's just Space Oddity.
it's just Space Oddity.
And they
But
do,
that-
like
that
the
one
pilots
guy-
do the
one of-
clapping.
One of the CFOs is just hating it, but the other guy, I'm forgetting what his name is, but dude is there for every bit of the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the only
he's
good.
just
He's a
happy to be
good
there.
character. He's a good person. And then Deeds arrives
I
in
don't
New
know.
York.
He's a weird person.
He's
He
a
starts
weird-
flirting
he's
with
weird.
Gams immediately.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Deeds arrives in New York and he shows up at Deeds Tower, which is definitely not analogous to Trump Tower. And he's living there,
What are you
and
talking about?
he's,
It's Snark Tower.
and there's this guy who is played by John Turturro named Emilio, who could beat Batman with no prep time.
No prep time. Easy.
no prep time.
Even with prep
Easily.
time, he can beat him.
There's a
That
running.
man can have his
Agree on
tool
this.
belt. He can have Superman there, and he
Dude
can
is
still get his ass
genuinely
whooped.
faster than the Flash.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
talking about the
true.
crappy TV
There-
show one.
There's a
No,
run-
you gotta remember the crappy TV show one is really cool up until like the 4th season.
There's a running gag in the movie where Emilio keeps like appearing in places in like time frames that could not have been possible even if he were going faster than the speed of light. So like
Like,
well, that's
like the
not
first one
true.
is really
It is
fast,
faster than the
right?
speed
Like,
of sound.
yeah, like
You
Like,
gotta
the first
remember,
one's pretty
any
simple.
shot in the movie, he could just immediately teleport, and that is the speed of
Yeah,
light.
that's
so,
true.
so the first
but-
one, the first one's a bit more believable, right? Because they're at like the top of the helipad, and then he's taking the elevator down. So you're like, oh, maybe he just
Maybe
hauled
he
ass
just
down,
ran
like the
down the
employee,
step,
like a
yeah.
staircase. Like, but at the end of the movie is the most like absurd one.
Yeah, he's up on
Well,
like a
listen.
balcony and he just appears at the podium. He's like he has to
Not
basically
to mention he doesn't just appear at the podium. He moves a guy off the podium down onto the floor below him, and then suddenly standing where the guy was.
yeah, it's
Well, listen, you can ever go the speed of sound, but that doesn't mean he can't go 299 million miles and
mean the
I
speed
don't
of
know,
light?
one fucking short of it. The speed of light, sorry. You can move the speed of sound.
He can
people have
stop
done.
time. That's what
Every
He's got the
astronaut ever
world.
has failed.
Oh my god, we haven't considered that Emilio might have the world. They would explain a lot about
wow.
him.
It would.
Gio, but he's a Spaniard.
Yeah, so yeah, he's like this Spanish dude named Emilio who has a foot fetish, and that's like his main joke. But besides the fact that he can teleport, and he's also like the best character in the movie. Anyway, so
Not morally.
no,
He actually is a stand user.
it
he
would
just-
explain a
The way
lot.
you described him just sounds like an actual JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character.
Yeah, he's got like the suit, and he talks with a weird accent. I mean, he really is just this stand user. And then meanwhile, what is going on? Winona Ryder's playing this reporter lady that I remember her alias more than I remember her actual character's name.
Babe
Um,
Benton.
Babe Benton.
Something like
Is her
that.
name
Babe Bennett. It's
Babe?
Bennett. Yeah, it was Babe Bennett.
But
Yeah.
her name is Babe.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
That
So
or they
yeah.
just called her Babe because they also constantly infer that she is in fact a harlot.
So,
She gets beat up for being one.
so
Yeah.
Winona Ryder's playing this like journalist lady who needs to get her big break in journalism. So when Mr. Deeds comes to New York, she hides a camera in her bra
camera.
to be a lady in distress. And this is the moment in the movie where we see the first act of horrific violence, where she's pretending to be mugged, and Mr. Deeds sees this, and instead of chasing the mugger away, he sees that the mugger has gone away with her bag. So he sprints after him and throws him into a trash can, and then picks it up and throws it onto him, and then kicks and then like.
It should be noted, after
Billy
he
Mays,
throws him into the trash can, he has the purse again. So
Yeah, he has.
he could walk back.
problem
he's got the
resolved
purse.
almost instantly, but then he decides to continue on.
And like Keaton can confirm, this is just how you play a Yakuza game. There's
Exactly.
like
I think this is a Yakuza movie.
Kiryu
He
Sandler.
beat Adam
It's
Sandler beat
Yakuza
him like he was
Infinite Wealth.
Mr. Shakedown.
Like
Like-
he has him like on the ground, and he's like punching him in the face repeatedly after he's already like given up. And then
Honestly,
for the rest of the movie, he's like he's in like
yeah.
a neck cast, and he's bruised.
Honestly,
it's
give that one scene from Invincible a run for its movie, the Omni-Man one where you just beating the shit out of Mark, right? It would give that one a run for its money.
Think, random mugger, think. Why would you take Why would you take the purse when I'm here? Anyway, so he then returns the purse
What he
to
needs to make
reporter
a
lady.
fraction of her power.
He return he returns the purse to the reporter lady, what Pam Grierson or whatever, and then he goes, for some reason, just goes, okay, you want to go on a date with me? And I mean, obviously I understand why she agrees, because she needs the story. But then they're eating at a restaurant. There's a pretty good joke where he's like, that couple over there is having their anniversary tonight, I'm pretty sure. Can you go hand this to them? Say no, but then don't tell them who it's from. And the waiter looks at it and goes, this is like $2,500.
No, $20,000.
$20,000. That's right.
It was not 2,500. It was 20,000.
It's like, this is $20,000.
Something about how just say that it was a
That's also another
secret
thing is,
giveaway or something.
That's another thing. Or another recurring thing is him just. He literally just pays off everybody. Like we
Yeah.
don't see him get arrested ever because we're pretty sure he has the entire city of New York in his pocket.
It's proof that money, you can just solve all your problems by throwing money at it.
It's true.
It's like
Or
we're gonna
cash
make a
can.
lot of Yakuza
Mr. Krabs
references.
was right.
We're gonna make a lot of Yakuza references. I'm just imagining the bit where it's the mini game where you put in like the series of button inputs and just open up a briefcase of money. like that one gif where it's like me when the judge is about to sentence me to death, but I convince him with my stellar argument, and it's just him opening a briefcase full of money.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, so he gets invited to a table by a bunch of like upper class society people who are all technically like shareholders in his company, and they go, they poke and prod him because they think he's an idiot, and then he realizes what they're doing. And then as he gets up to leave, they all start laughing to themselves, and he just turns around and beats the shit out of like 3 of them.
Well, no, he gets
Well, not-
permission
not-
to do
not
it
just that.
first. It should be noted.
Yeah. He
That's
gets permission
true.
to first. He beats up. He just quickly knocks out one dude. He quickly knocks out the other. Right. I
then-
just remember like him
and then-
knocking them out. Right. But he grabs the
there's like an opera
singer
Yeah.
and just drags him across the entire room. This dude's screaming in like opera, right? Like he's scream singing, right?
My favorite
and then
language.
he just like, and then he's just like, "Fat God, he's throwing him through the table." And he just slams this big old dude down through a little table.
And then
Interrupting somebody's dinner.
somehow
Yeah.
the reporter's boob camera manages to catch all of this because after they leave the restaurant after just paying off the staff,
Nobody
hang
saw
on. They
anything.
pay for damages. He did his civic duty and reimbursed them for
That's
all the
true.
money and some more because he also handed them like $20,000,
This
which
is
is a recurring theme.
$20,000.
He gives $20,000 to just everyone.
But then so
What
after
happens when
that,
$20,000
like,
isn't enough?
the footage of him just beating the shit out of people in the restaurant gets put on the news, and everyone starts laughing at him and they're like, "Oh my god, we can't have this guy in our
Oh, yeah.
setup."
This
right?
guy has J. Jonah Jameson on his ass, and he
Yeah.
is Spider-Man.
We didn't mention that.
Scottish J. Jonah
Dave's
Jameson.
boss is just Ginger
Ginger
Jameson.
Jameson.
Yeah.
So then we have what happens after that? We get the fucking scene. Well, we missed this part earlier. There's like a scene where like a football player comes into the office while he's like trying to talk about what he's gonna get, how much money he's gonna get, and he starts complaining that his contract isn't big enough. And then Mr. Deeds walks over to him because he's swearing and punches him in the face and knocks him on the ground immediately.
He tells him to watch his mouth.
That's
first.
true.
He does give him fair warning. He says, "Are you really gonna talk like that in front of the ladies?" And then he keeps cursing him out, so he just beats the fuck out of the football player.
But he doesn't beat him up. He just punches him once and then goes, "Good effort," and helps him back up.
It's true.
He punches him once,
but he punches him so hard the guy. Yeah, he hits the ground and then is just lost when he comes to.
Yeah, we are talking like big corn-fed like quarterback, and he just punches him to the ground immediately.
Yeah. Which begs the question that he has this punching power, right? We obviously know they're feeding him pizzas, but it begs the question once again of what is in the pizza?
Uranium.
He's a radioactive being. Deeds, man.
I mean, it makes sense.
It would explain a lot.
Oh, and then there's an important aspect to the plot, which is so important that it only gets brought up once before it needs to be used again. He's got this like foot that is completely necrotic. And there's a great.
Oh god,
it's not technically necrotic.
Yes, it's still on his foot, but it's like his foot is completely black and he can't feel anything. And there's a great scene where they just beat the hell out of him
with a fire poker and then stabs it and he screams as if he's in pain and it messes with the guy who needs no prep time.
Emilio. And this is where Emilio figures out that he has a foot fetish, apparently.
No, Emilio always had a foot fetish.
That's true. Except
he knew his
but this is where the first hint that Emilio has a foot fetish comes in. After there's a line about, putting on socks. And Emilio's really weird about it. But then after that, Emilio makes a comment upon seeing this horrendous foot about how this will haunt my dreams for eternity. So if you're really clever, you piece together he has a thing for feet. But
until he just comes out and says that he has a thing for feet.
Right.
Which, honestly, I'm not gonna, fight him on that. The dude will probably be.
You're not gonna fight him on having things for feet?
Yeah, you know why?
This dude would fucking.
I got Keaton to laugh. That's all I care about.
Do you think Tarantino wrote part of the script? That was like his self-insert character.
Oh my god, that would explain a lot. Oh my god. And it's. I think the best.
Never left the building.
I think the fact that they got John Turturro to play a character who's supposed to be Spanish, despite the fact that John Turturro is the most Italian-looking man of all time. You can, obviously racial profiling is a bad thing, but you can just look at him and go, yeah, that man's Italian.
Keep in mind, everybody, he is racial profile.
I am going to racial profile John Turturro because I will be right 100% of the time.
I mean, it's true. We do know what his ethnic background is. So
is it racial profiling if you know what he is?
No, if I didn't know who John Turturro was, I would look at him and go, "That man is Italian." That's just the reality. This is
descended into Ladnie as a racist.
I have HP Lovecraft disease where I can.
And
you can immediately tell if someone is
not
of a certain descent or not.
And just like that, podcast is over.
Podcast is over because we discovered that I have HP Lovecraft disease. So, after they leave,
I have a lot
after
of
they
cash.
leave the restaurant, they show him on television, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is funny, whatever." And then they're like, "We don't need this publicity right now, so just lay low until we can figure out what we're gonna do with your money, right?" And it must be understood that the two guys that are working to try and get him his money are actually on his bad side
Well,
or
really,
whatever.
only one of them.
One of them is.
Because
The
the
other
other
one
guy
doesn't
is just
care.
kind of
The
doing
other
it because
guy-
he's being told.
Yeah, the other guy's
I'm
a
gonna be
yes
honest.
man.
The other guy also just seems. The other guy just seems lost 90%.
Yeah, he
of the time.
doesn't. He doesn't seem like he knows what he's talking
Yeah, it
about.
doesn't
He
seem
just
like
stands around and
he's.
smokes his pipe.
This is
Like,
true.
he has
He's kind of just the
has
epitome
good
of
jokes.
fuck it, we ball.
Yeah.
It's like they
respect
pulled this
that.
guy in for the movie, and the guy went, "Okay, I guess as long as I'm getting paid, I suppose."
He talks
Yeah.
with like a weird English
And then
accent.
proceeded to not. Yeah, and then
He's
proceeded
just
to not
Matt
act the
Smith
entire
in
movie.
Morbius. He's just there because he wants to be.
So then after this, reporter lady goes on another date with Mr. Deeds, where they steal. Well, they pay two kids $20,000.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just realized we forgot an important part. After he
part?
beats the fuck out of the high members of society, he runs into a tennis
Yes, he
legend.
runs
I
into the
can't think of
tennis
his name.
legend. Yes.
But this guy who was really good at tennis, and then they go and get shit faced together and go on a rager until they wind up blackout drunk.
Yeah, that's what
And
happened.
Oh, by
That's
the way,
the big
also-
thing that they're
entire
talking
town-
about on the news is like they're
the
egging
entire-
cars that are going by, all kinds of other stuff.
Oh, also
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tennis legend just clears a car, not like barely hops
Oh,
over it like you see
yeah.
those
Oh
TikToks,
yeah,
right, where
he
they're hopping
jumps
over
like
neighbors.
15 feet in the air, but that's just something tennis players can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Like I
tennis
don't know how
players
well
can
versed
do
you
it.
are in the
Develop that
sport,
ability.
but the ability to leap up 15 feet into the air really important
Mhm.
It's like a Jedi.
as
need
a
to-
professional tennis player.
You need to be able to jump
Anyways,
over like the entire net.
not to mention
Pretty
his
much.
entire town is watching the news while Billy or I keep trying to say Billy Madison.
Billy Madison,
Mr.
yeah.
Deeds is embarrassing himself, right?
It's just
His entire
Deeds. How
town-
dare you?
It's true. I keep calling him Mr. Deeds because that's the
Yeah,
name
yeah.
of the film. I think.
Anyways,
Hold on.
Deeds is being embarrassed live on news, right?
Oh,
His
sorry, I
entire
forgot to mention.
hometown loves him. They're
Yes.
It's
like,
important to note
real
that
kid."
every time he introduces himself to a new character, he hugs them.
That's true.
He does not shake their hands. But anyway, continue.
Oh, that
Uh,
was
Go.
No,
What?
no, it's all you.
Oh, it's all. What
his
is
town
happening?
Loves.
I want to
You
shake
caught me
your
in the middle of eating
hand.
a pretzel. I'm sorry.
I want to shake your hand. I think at some
Oh.
point after we get done with at least 9 of our bad movies, assuming that we go to 17 episodes.
We're not getting past 2.
That's true. If we
That's
get to,
fine.
if we get to
Assuming that YouTube
17
doesn't just-
episodes, we need to do a bonus episode where we clock the main characters of the bad movies we watched and put them on the alignment chart.
Can we like power scale them too?
Yeah, Deeds is probably lawful good.
Yeah,
well,
no,
chaotic-
because he is
chaotic
beating
No,
the
he's
fuck out of
chaotic
people.
good.
Chaotic
He
good.
is chaotic good.
I'd argue he's neutral good.
Maybe
where
neutral.
Yeah,
he's
neutral
still
good.
doing good. He's not doing things on his whim, but also his motives are questioned.
What is the
levels.
power scale of
he-
Mr. Deeds?
Because he did say that. That's also the other thing is why they did this whole damsel in distress thing. Is he's getting off the helicopter, whatever her face's boyfriend or supposedly
Suppose
boyfriend.
he's
Well,
in
it
the
is just-
incel.
It is
Yeah, the guy
incel,
who
right?
wants to bone
He's-
her and had
he's
creepy
also the guy who
comments
got
about
beat-
breathing heavily while watching her sleep. Which
He's also the guy
he
who
said
got
was
beat up by
allegedly an
Deeds,
as
right?
an attack. Yeah, same guy who gets
He's the
the
guy-
mugger.
Yeah. Anyways, he's up on the helipad, disguised as a guy with the
The
two
air
light
traffic
sticks shining in,
control.
right? While they're up there, we forgot to mention this, right? While they're up there, one dude in front of the paparazzi snaps a photo and then immediately jumps off the top of the skyscraper.
He
and
Sam
deploys a
Flynns
parachute.
himself off. Yep, it's badass.
And
I
I was
think-
like, oh yeah, you're gonna go get some information by standing there, right? But you'll never be as cool as the guy who jumped off a skyscraper to get one photo.
They also make a comment that the antagonist of the film makes a comment that guy's throat should be slit for taking a picture. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
I think
what you were saying about the guy disguised getting the information that he's into.
Oh, that's why the whole mugging thing kind of starts.
Yeah,
kicks
yeah,
off,
yeah,
right? It's,
Yeah.
Because while they're up there, right,
Important.
he overhears them going, I'd like to find a girl like a real damsel in distress, like save her, like killing a princess.
that's
story,
right.
right.
That's right. That's right.
Right, because
That's
they
what
were
Deeds is talking
arguing
about.
over whether he should get a girl just because he has shitloads of money or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And he goes, no, I don't want a girl who wants it because of money. I want, to save a girl, have her fall for me, right? Which is kind of messed up, but it's
Well,
it's
no, I
better
mean,
than
I
just
get
going,
the aspiration of
yeah.
wanting to be in a relationship with somebody who you have genuinely helped through a tough time.
Yeah.
But
And also who
I mean,
actually appreciates you
it's a
for more
lot
than
better
$40
than
billion.
Yeah.
yeah, $40 billion.
Deeds actually suffered from I can fix her syndrome.
Anyway,
He's one of us.
alright.
Deeds is a movie about how much
Yeah,
of a boy
so like,
he is.
yeah,
We
we should probably
have
point out that
discussed that.
Caleeb spent the entire movie having a he's literally me moment. Like,
It's
Well,
sure.
to be fair though, this dude will just casually talk up anybody. This dude's filthy rich, right? Most rich people are like, oh, I don't want to associate myself with the waiter or whatever, right? They're just there to do a job, right?
give this
We'll
man
chat up the waiters while we're-
$20,000.
We'll chat up the waiters while we're out at dinner and just like be complete, like absolute homies with them. Like this,
Listen, I'd
Deeds,
hug
the
a
first
waiter.
moment in his house has just completely earned the respect of his entire staff as he's just chilling with them effectively.
Yeah, I mean, remember.
I mean,
remember-
Emilio's already fallen head over heels for him because he let him see his feet.
It's true. And that's the other thing that's important to know. It seems that Emilio does not care if it's a male's foot or a female's foot. He just wants
Just
feet, which, I mean, at least he's a man who knows what he wants.
Emilio would be living at a golden age right now.
Yeah, I hope he made it another 18 years, at least to 2020.
John
whenever
Turturro
he
is still
started-
alive.
That's true.
Godspeed, Emilio. Godspeed.
God,
Do you think he can Do you think he can outspeed death itself?
Well, listen,
Probably.
he's
He's
very
like
sneaky,
Mort.
right? He can see feet if he
He's very
wants.
sneaky. It's true.
No, should he?
That means
No,
Emilio
anyways.
is a lawful good character because he could just see feet whenever he wants, but he gets permission first.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not a
Um,
monster.
He's
He's
not a
probably got like
monster.
10 terabytes of feet on his hard drive.
Oh, easily.
And they're all like he can't find good images that are all like crusty like
They're really
40p
like
and
scuffed.
like 40p like captures from movies that he's watched with people with their shoes off.
He is taking a picture of it like with like whatever like camera device, right? On his TV screen, so it looks real
Yeah,
scuffed. too.
exactly like that. You can see like the
Like you can
the
exactly,
Moira
you
pattern.
can like maybe make it. You can maybe make out like the shape of it, but like you got no other details outside of that.
You can tell
Oh,
that the toes involved, but that's all. So after they get on the news, Pam, reporter lady, whatever, decides I'm gonna go on another date with Mr. Deeds. So they
Well,
buy
she wants to because more money.
because more money, duh. So she buys. So Deeds buys 2 bicycles off of 2 kids for $20,000 each. Where there's a great scene where they talk about what are you gonna do with your money, and one of them says I'm gonna buy a giraffe, and the other one just goes I'm gonna quit school. And that, I mean,
And then homeless person.
and he goes, "Yeah, school is for nothing." And then the kids run away screaming.
Because homeless
Yeah,
people are
those
the
kids are
devil,
actually-
don't you know?
Homeless people are terrifying.
And he was a friendly homeless person. He wasn't like yelling like I'm gonna murder you.
It's not like he was chasing them down saying you need to stay in school. He was just like,
Hey,
yeah, look
hey.
at me. I dropped out of school years
Hey,
ago.
You can
If
be
Ladnie
like
gets
me.
if Ladnie gets the racially profile, those kids get the homeless profile.
Since
So,
kids back in 2002 get a profile homeless people.
It's important to note that they are not like running away. They are running away screaming, like in full on
Yeah.
terror. Like
It's
they-
like the scene from
like-
Halloween where the kids see Michael Myers and so they're just sprinting down the streets. Go get help. And then instead of going and getting help, they're just fucking legging it and screaming. That was pretty much it.
Ladnie, get your ass away from that.
Get your ass away from that, Lonnie.
So, they go on a ride. First off, we've been making the jokes about Yakuza the entire time, and then the bike
They
show
get
up, and we're
bikes.
like, "Oh my god!"
It's gotta happen.
And
He's
unfortunately,
about to hit someone with a bicycle.
fortunately, he never beat anybody up with a bicycle, which sucks. But whatever.
If he did, it would have just confirmed our suspicions.
Yes.
And they ride their bicycles around, and then reporter lady like lets on that she's actually not a school nurse like she claimed, and she's actually a reporter, but he doesn't.
No,
pay
no,
attention.
that doesn't happen until
Well, no.
way
She
later.
says that
he
she wanted
implies
to
that
be,
her dream is
Yeah,
to be a
but
reporter
she's,
someday.
she's
So she
kinda
doesn't explicitly go out of her way and say, "Yeah, I'm a news reporter." She is being genuine and sensitive with him and talking about how, well, when I was a kid, I wanted to grow up and be a reporter. But she doesn't explicitly be like, yeah, I'm a reporter, not actually a school nurse.
Serious analysis of
She's just
their
like,
deeds.
she's just like, yeah, it'd be really cool if I was a reporter. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Looks at camera.
And this is
smiles
an
at
In her
important thing
boobs.
for this is an
Yeah.
important thing for later about what you want as a child. So keep that in mind
That's
going
true.
forward.
And then so they're riding their bikes, and then they hear what
Fire
am I trying to
truck.
say? Fire truck blow by. So they decide to just leave the bikes right there that they legally do own.
No, they
now.
took him to
Do they
the
take 'em?
site. Remember?
I think they just
Yeah.
drop
Yeah,
him
yeah.
and run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
they make it all the way to the site.
so the
He was on the
firefighters.
Anyways,
side
as-
quest.
Yeah,
as
it's
a
on the
real
side. It's on the
Oklahoman-
side story.
As a real Oklahoman would, they follow the fire trucks to the scene.
Yeah. So Mr. Deeds goes, "Oh, don't worry. I was a volunteer fire chief back in my hometown of Fuckdale, West." And
and
the
then
firefighters
proceeds
just
to perform
alright
an
with that.
Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
type parkour
he
event, where he
Uncharted.
scales the side of a building freehand.
Doesn't he do it up like the drainage pipe? Those things
Yeah.
are like
He
those
he
those things are, like,
crawls
just
up
fly-
a light pole and then jumps the gap from the light pole or the street post rather, jumps the gap from the street post onto the building, and then starts monkeying his way
And
up
there-
the building.
It's no
Which
wonder he
reminds you,
has
if
J.
I am
Jonah
correct,
Jameson after him.
He's
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Get me more
Getting me
pictures of these.
Crap, we're just dumb. We kept comparing it to Yakuza. It really is just the old Spider-Man games, isn't it? He's a
Or,
pizza
like,
delivery
he's
guy
Japanese
with
Spider-Man.
supernatural powers
Oh
and the
my
ability to beat up anyone who wants indiscriminate of punishment. He's literally just
And he-
Spider-Man.
You're right.
And the common folk love him.
Yeah.
And there is
so,
one recurring theme in the entire movie, as in like song. In the old Spider-Man games, it was Funiki La, but in this movie, it's what is it, Summertime or whatever?
Yeah,
Was the
summertime.
name of
Because
it?
Steve Buscemi's character is constantly
Yeah.
emanating
In the
song.
summertime.
that's
There
another
is,
thing.
there is
That's
no
another thing.
proof that he is
Steve-
actually playing the song. He's just emanating.
It just emanates in the summertime.
That's another thing. Steve Buscemi is just here, and
He's
he
in the
can't
film.
see.
And he has eyes that move independently from each other, which must have been a bitch to
Pretty much-
do.
Well, pretty much anytime he's in any movie that has Adam Sandler, that's his character.
Yeah, he's just
so,
a crazy guy. I mean, like in Billy Madison, he plays a murderer.
That's true. He's really
Which I think
good
that's the
at
crazy
that.
thing. After watching, I'm forgetting the name of the TV show, but where he's working with the mob, right? It's super weird to see him
Oh,
just play a non-serious character.
Oh, what is that show?
I think it's like Boardwalk. Is it Boardwalk? That he's on?
Boardwalk
Boardwalk
Empire
Empire,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but like after seeing episodes of that, right? It's so weird to just see him be like a complete stooge. After, I'm
Well,
pretty
it's
sure
weird
he's
to
just
see him be a
executed
serious actor. It's like, who's the guy from Django Unchained, the German guy?
Christoph
Oh,
Waltz.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
Django Unchained, his character, has serious moments, but is generally a whimsical character that's kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
comedic
And then
uplift.
you watch Hans Landa.
Then you watch Hans Landa and you're like, what the fuck?
What am I witnessing?
That's a good deal. I take that deal. You take that
I'd
deal?
take that
I take
deal.
that deal. Damn good deal.
Or what was the other one?
I don't
It
know.
was during one of the newer James Bond movies. He's the villain in
Oh,
that. And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, what the shit? And he's talking about like slowly torturing people. It's like, what the hell? Okay.
You're not the funny German dentist.
You're not the funny
It's,
German.
it's like one of
person.
those things like when you see a character who only plays heroes play a villain, right?
Right. Like
But,
Jim Carrey.
Which is I am waiting.
When
I
Jim
am
Carrey
waiting
is a
for the day-
serious actor, it makes no sense and is horrifying.
No, Eternal Sunshine of the
I'm
Spotless Mind
waiting
is a
for-
fantastic
Dude,
movie, though.
I'm not
I
saying
am
it
waiting for
isn't.
the-
I'm saying it's weird.
Coming soon.
I am waiting for the day that Giancarlo Esposito plays a hero.
Exactly.
You realize how offsetting that's gonna be?
I'm coming after you.
I'm
We
coming
need to
up.
stop typecasting actors and just have them do the complete opposite of what they're used to.
Yeah.
Is that not still
Anti-typecast.
typecast? Is that still? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that still technically typecasting?
No,
in the
it's
sense
like
of-
anti-humor. It's really funny because it makes perfect
Makes
sense.
sense, yeah. Anyway, So he climbs up the side of the building to get into the place, and there's like this Jamaican Caribbean woman who's yelling about how
What
she's not going
the
down with her.
Laddie? Not that I'd racial profile
wow.
someone. Immediate racial profiling.
No, it's very important because she's talking
Ah.
with an overinflated accent, and she's like, I
She's
can't
from
go down without the
Louisiana.
kitties, and so and he's like, okay, how many cats do you have? And she says 7, and there's the funniest line in the movie where he just goes, holy shit.
And then he apologizes
like a-
for his
Pardon
foul
my
mouth in front of a lady.
Pardon my
yeah,
language.
yeah.
And then he
But,
just
like,
starts
it's
chucking
the-
cats out the window. And like,
But it's the reaction that anybody would have, where the woman is in a burning building, right, on like whatever floor, right, like the 5th floor, right, and she's like, okay, but help me save my cats first. You're expecting like maybe 1 or 2, right? You can like hold them underneath one arm while you're helping her out, right? And she just goes, yeah, help me get all 7 of
7.
them.
holy shit. Um,
He needed to collect all the missing objectives in
Yeah, he
order to get
gets-
an 100%
so
achievement run.
he throws down a bunch
Mhm.
of cats, and there's pretty funny ways that they collect them. Where like they catch him in the first one gets caught in the net, no problem. The second one bounces off the net and goes into a manhole where a guy working on it catches the cat. And then like the best one is there's like this guy sitting on like the steps of his brownstone with a massive afro, and he catches the cat in his hair. And it's
See, my favorite is the cat bounces up in the air, and as it's coming down, a dog just out of nowhere
Yeah.
grabs it.
That's
And
right.
it gives it to a
Runs away
person,
with
right?
it.
The cat survives, but the fact that the cat just gets ripped out of the air by a dog.
Oh, mind you, right? The lady, what was it, Babe, right, or whatever? I keep forgetting.
Babe.
She's there, right? She's recording all this in her
Boobs.
cleavage camera,
Yep.
and this will become the next plot point.
And this
Yeah.
will become
The
the next
news
plot point. She actually, another thing about the first cat, she actually catches that first cat.
And then
Yeah,
that's true. And then after he sends all the cats down, he goes down with the lady in his arms because she's scared to jump. And then they bounce up, and then they do a reverse shot of them bouncing. Like they just take the shot and reverse it, of them bouncing back up,
so
and then they
easily
break back
reversed,
down.
right?
They break back down through the trampoline, and because he's on top of her, it looks like a compromising situation. And
Pretty much they're doing missionary, is what Ladnie's getting at.
yeah, right.
And Adam Sandler, instead of saying something weird, he just effectively goes, "Please get off me."
No, other way around.
Other way around.
She's on top. He's on top of her.
But neither of them actually say anything about "please get off me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
I
both
thought one of them
excited
said
to be
please,
alive.
like-
Yeah,
still.
they're cheering.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so the boob camera footage gets put to the news, and then they
J.
publish
Jonah
a story.
Jameson sabotages him.
Yeah, sabotages the
Yeah.
footage where he's throwing the cats out the window and it makes splat noises, and then it looks like he's raping the woman that he helped down the building. And they're like, "What is happening, man?" And then it's like footage of him like laughing while like the cats are like,
while
oh yeah, while
while
he's
he's
violating
in between
her.
the woman's legs.
We are
yeah.
not getting monetized.
Yeah,
We
we're
are
not.
getting
We're not getting
monetized.
monetized because we're not an affiliate, so this doesn't matter.
And
but-
also, we keep dropping f bombs. Like
also
no one's
true.
paying
Wait,
us anything.
Wait, you guys are making money?
yeah, none of us are gonna make. You guys are getting paid.
You guys are gonna
Was this
pay?
part of the plan? So then, reporter ladies like, "Oh, this sucks. I didn't want this to happen, right?" And he's like, "I can't believe you would do this." And then, Mr. Deeds goes to go play tennis and physically assaults
Really, she
the
kind of has
villain.
a reverse of Don Henley's
yeah.
dirty
This
laundry.
is-
Now that I think
once
about
again-
it,
once
Where she
again-
goes,
once
maybe the
again-
new system is bad.
Anyways, once again, by the way, Deeds is apparently a long distance cousin of Happy Gilmore, as
Yeah.
he perfectly snipes the CFO dude numerous times with the tennis ball. One of them
Um,
catches him in the throat. I'm pretty sure it broke his windpipe, right?
you
But
can't
then
see
it's
the first
fine.
of the movie. They had the double.
His larynx is just gone.
My meniscus is torn. I can never walk again. And Mort got us into a fucking car crash. So then after that, there's like the ball boy is actually the informant dude from the news, and he's like, there's a really
Oh,
uncomfortable
catches
scene
himself.
where he tells him to go
He
into the
catches-
showers, and instead of just meeting in the showers like a normal person, he's just washing himself while he's having the conversation, and there's like a shot
just
that
any
focuses
part
on
of
his
himself.
ass for like 10
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
I was so glad that I was eating ice cream at that time and not paying attention to the movie.
Yeah, there's like a shot of
you know,
man ass for like 30 seconds.
and it's not like any other
Which
part
will
of his
not
body. The dude is just specifically, yeah.
That will not be the highest. That will not be the highest amount of man ass that we watch if we ever watch Seven Samurai, because there's probably about maybe 50 or maybe about 30 minutes of man ass in Seven
Just
Samurai.
wait till we get to Schindler's List, where it's just a bunch of naked people running for like 20 minutes.
What?
Do you not remember that part of Schindler's List when they make them all get naked and run into the trucks to get gassed?
Yeah. Okay. So.
That took a dark turn.
So. Then.
So, anyways,
he
Mr.
takes
Gates,
her...
and then lead into Schindler's List.
Well, yeah. Listen, it's Godwin's Law. Fuck you.
Schindler's
List. No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. Jewish filmmaker. No, that's great.
It's just a bunch of like really like pretty like female actors all being collected into the trucks to go play the romantic interest in an Adam Sandler movie.
Play the romantic interest. Oh no!
What's that? What's that? You're above a 7, and you don't have money. Get in the car.
No. Some of them do have ludicrous sums of money, though.
Yeah. But like, someone needs to discuss.
Hold on.
Oh my god!
Who would
Adam Sandler, Chuck Stern be in this? Is it Kevin James? Kevin James is like helping him type the list.
Yeah.
It's like it's the scene where they're typing the list and it's like playing like the montage music over it, where like Itchak doesn't know what's happening and Oscar is like thinking about how much money he's losing. And he's just saying, like, is she going to a good movie? Yes. No. Redirect her. Get her to a bad one. She needs to be my romantic interest.
He's sitting there staring out the window and he goes, what about Scarlett Johansson?
And Kevin James goes, we don't have the money. And he goes, I will sell my factory.
What about Al Pacino?
Can we get Al Pacino to be there?
He goes, we don't have enough money, and Adam Sandler just goes, all right, we'll film another Happy Gilmore.
Another Happy Gilmore.
Is there a romantic interest in Happy Gilmore? Yeah, there is. Because there has.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, how is Happy Gilmore gonna go?
Is that Happy Gilmore 2 gonna married?
Yes.
I think he.
I mean, he has to be.
See, the best part about this is that when we watch this video again for posterity's sake, we'll see just Adam Sandler like staring at us. See, the image I chose for it is like that one icon it's like that one icon of Christ where he's staring forward with one eye and then staring off in the distance with the other to signify that he's both man and divine. But it's just Adam Sandler like having like a problem with the camera angle.
Is Adam Sandler having a problem with camera angle, or Adam Sandler symbolically showing that he is both man and mind?
Adam Sandler's daughter was born in 2006. That's weird.
That she is
no.
Yeah, wait. Yeah.
Is he only
I
having
wanted
one
to say
daughter?
Keaton, but I don't know how old Keaton is. No, he has a couple, I thought.
Yeah, he has 2, I think.
Keeping up with the Jewish tradition of only having daughters.
Adam Sandler has City Sandler and Sunny Sandler.
He's a relative.
So, yes.
If I were a wish man.
Oh God. Sunny Sandler is younger than my sister.
One of them is born in 2008. One of them is born in 2006. So yeah.
Oh no. I could date Adam Sandler's daughter and not even know.
I don't know. I think you'd be very well aware if you were dating Adam Sandler's daughter.
Could you imagine how horrifying it would be to be related to Adam
have
Sandler?
Adam Sandler as your father-in-law? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Hey, Manny, you just say you're talking to him and you're like really nervous watching
my
it.
Name's Summer. What's your last name? Sandler.
He makes you watch his movies and give you his opinion on them. It's trying to there's like it's a really good movie. I really appreciate it. At the end he goes, dude, just say that you hate him. I hate him too.
It's like Tom Cruise kidnaps you and forces you to laugh at American humor. Why did you laugh?
Why did you laugh? American jokes.
Why are you laughing?
That's classic American.
Classic American humor. Why aren't you laughing? Um,
Have you ever seen that one Ben Stiller clip where he's pretending to be Adam Sandler, Tom Cruise's body double?
well, do you know that what the performance of Christian Bale's performance based on Patrick Bateman was modeled mostly after?
Please tell me it was just Tom Cruise.
He watched Tom Cruise on Oprah and was like, there was nothing going on behind that man's eyes.
You can't run forever, Tom Cruise.
He's just not.
Well, you know Tom Cruise. You know Tom Cruise is a Scientologist, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he sold his soul to the spaghetti monster. There's it is just a husk of a man still. Yeah. There's just a husk of a man.
Sorry, did you just use the proper name of the flying spaghetti monster?
No, the Xenu, the concept of the soul, and
Oh, in Scientology.
Oh,
what
okay.
if you
You'd
know
pay like
the,
$100,000
just
to
to
find
figure
out
out what your
about him.
Xenu is.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the
well,
what's
you
the
know-
what's the have you seen the Eric Andre bit of the black Scientologists?
Like Scientology.
So what do we want?
Yeah.
Xenu! What do we want it in
Xenu.
like 40 million years?
All
Not
I'm
many
saying
people
is-
know this, but L. Ron Hubbard was a black man. His real name was L. Ron Hoya Bembe.
Ladnie, all I'm saying is, would Deeds? I mean, he's got the money, right? Would Deeds accidentally join Scientology?
No,
Probably
he's
not.
better than that.
He's got his own cult to run. He's Andre Almeida.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Names. The only thing that we were missing is him wearing the same exact shirt for the whole movie.
That's true.
He did change. He changed it. Once again,
No,
this is
he
the
didn't
best Adam
change.
Sandler
Emilio
movie.
changed him.
Yeah.
That's true. Emilio did change it multiple times.
So, okay, let's go back to the plot of the movie. So, Pam, reporter lady, I don't know, Babe. We'll call her Babe. This is a recap. Babe's like story is that she's from the small town of Westerville, Churchenton, Iowa, which Caleeb then pointed at the screen and laughed about, and we had to stop and look at a cornfield.
Hey, look, Iowa mentioned, and then you guys pull, and then Connor pulls up a stock
I'm pretty
image
sure
of a cornfield.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
freaking out over the corn.
Roll footage.
I didn't record this, dude.
No, I'm just saying. Roll
Pretend to.
footage. Yeah.
Yeah, just we'll remake it.
Put a picture
Um,
of the cornfield up on the
Yeah.
screen.
We'll get,
and
like,
some
fade in.
laughter on there. Yeah.
Anyway, well, so
No.
Mr.
My
Deeds
father was
goes.
piece of corn.
So Deeds goes, okay. I guess I should take her back to her hometown, and he finds the real Westerville Shenton once and and
Worcestershire.
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 Yeah, that's
and-
another
That's
thing.
not
Worcestershire.
Wash your sister.
Wash your
It's
sister.
because
Whoa.
it's because it like she made this entire story of where she lived, right?
Yeah.
And they end up finding the like
And she
they
steals like
find
a
where-
lot of the facts of it from The Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes. She talks a
The-
lot
the
about
exact
Boo
house.
Radley and falling out of a tree and describes the house pretty much one for one.
and they go and find said house.
Where Boo Radley did in fact live.
Oh,
Um,
And then they beat up a
But-
kid.
and then-
yeah, she
Yeah.
beats up a kid.
She does beat the
Yeah, she's-
fuck out of a kid
Yeah,
and
they
saves
go-
his life.
They go to the house
Yeah.
she described that apparently came to her in a dream, and they walk into the house while there's kids there that don't have their parents, and then one of the kids starts choking on his candy while they're like doing the tour of the house,
Oh,
and the kid just
so,
let him
so
in, and then she
yeah,
just
yeah, the kid just let him in, right?
she follows the
Adam
proper
Sandler is
procedure.
Complete.
Sorry, yeah,
go on.
continue.
Well,
Alright.
okay,
Oh, I was
she
gonna say, I was gonna say,
follows the
Adam-
proper procedure with heavy air quotes.
Yeah, well, but she does what you're supposed to do first
So
with
Ad-
the back blows to begin with before you begin the
And
real Heimlich
then-
maneuver. But she just like
No, it's
puts
not
him
the
up against.
Heimlich anymore.
That's true. Whatever.
Be politically correct.
But you put him. But then she puts the kid up against the balustrade and just
Wait,
starts
wait, wait, wait.
slamming him against until he
She
breaks
knocks
a
his
tooth.
tooth out
and
as
knocks-
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What was the
Speaking of which-
point of
oh,
that
wait,
scene
wait.
anyway?
because
It
it was
was-
to be
It
funny.
literally
Trying to
had
find a way
no
out of a
point
lie.
except for it to
Supposed
be
to.
funny, Keaton.
It was
had
it was
no
her trying to
point.
find a way
Yeah,
out
There
of
that
was-
was
the
more
lie.
violent.
There was a pretty alright
Oh, yeah, yeah.
joke where she's like, "This is
Let's
where my
say,
brother
like-
slept," and she opens the door and there's like a closet.
It's just a
I
closet,
hated
yeah.
my brother.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
then she's like,
closet. Then she calls
really
the
hated
kid's
Bruce.
dad just a liar.
Yeah, because like my
My
dad built
daddy
that
built this
closet.
house 6 years ago.
Your dad's a
Your
liar.
daddy's a liar.
Yeah, so these kids let them in, right? Get told that their dad is just a filthy piece of crap liar, and then one of the kids starts choking, and then instead of actually having the proper like Heimlich maneuver performed,
She
just
just
gets
beats
the
him up.
snot beat out of him.
Yeah.
And oh
It
yeah,
saves his
Adam
life,
Sandler could have
but-
easily like Adam Sandler could have easily like saved that kid, right? But he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're a school nurse, right? Save this kid."
Yeah, and he doesn't
That's the
like
best part
attempt
about
to
it.
help. He just
Like,
kind of
no,
like
it's not
stares
like
with like
he's-
fascination.
Yeah, it's not like he was about to step forward and help, and then he steps back and goes, "You know what? You're the school nurse. I think you got this."
He's looking for a worthy successor. He already
Yeah.
knows what he's capable of. He wants to see if his
If his potential wife can do it.
She's got like a clipboard of like things she's able to do. And he's like, "Yep, do Heimlich maneuver on small kids. Yep."
And then after this trip, they go back to New York, and then Babe tells. Well, then she's like, I don't think we can see each other again, though. And then he tells her that he loves her and he wants to see her at least one last time. And she starts crying. So then she goes to her job and she tells him that she's going to resign as a journalist. And the guy, J. Ginger Jameson goes, well, okay, that's fine. I'm very appreciated the work that you've done
He's
for us.
deceptively nice to
And
her.
then I'm appreciated the work that you did for us. And then the next day, Deeds goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go propose to her, so that way, just to see if like she really does, if she loves me back." And then she shows up, but too late because they've already played in the basketball court where he's planning to propose to her.
Oh, this isn't just any basketball court.
Yeah, this is the
man-
Knicks' stadium. Fuck the Knicks.
It's not that he. It's not that he rented out the stadium either.
He owns it.
He
owns it,
legitimately
yeah.
owns the Knicks and the Eagles. So
No, he owns the
which is the
Jets.
best? Or the Jets.
the
Yeah, that's what it was.
Jets.
So yeah, then also another thing. He's
And
on
what was the other one? It was like
helicopter
the
in opening
Dolphins or
scene.
something.
No,
Yeah.
he wants the
He owns it.
Dolphins. He was
Oh,
planning
yeah,
on
anyways,
selling the
so-
Dolphins for the selling the Jets for the Dolphins. Also,
Anyways, yeah, on the helicopter ride in, he is crap talking the Jets, and they go, "Sir, I wouldn't crap talk the Jets." And he goes, "Why? They're horrible." He goes, "You own them." And he goes, "Oh,
and he goes, I guess I should kill myself.
yeah, that's what it
he
was."
genuinely
That's
makes a
the right
comment about how
reaction.
he would kill himself.
So then we forgot to mention this. The football player, which he beat up in his office, he gets a call from his dad, right? Where he's
No,
talking,
he gets a call from the football player
the
asking
football
for
player,
it back.
and then
But his dad is standing over his
his
shoulder.
dad's saying to the phone, and the dad takes the phone and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so glad that you talked some sense into you smacked some sense into my son. I appreciate what you've done. He's gonna be a nice boy. And he's gonna play for you again." And then he goes, "Oh, it's all right. I didn't mean to beat him up that bad. It just he wouldn't stop swearing in front of the ladies." And his dad just stares at his son with like such rage and abandon. And then you
Daddy,
hear him
no!
take off the belt, and then he goes, "Daddy, no!" And you hear him get
No,
the
you
shit
see him
beat out
take
of
off the belt. You
Yeah,
don't hear it.
and then
You
you
hear
hear
him go,
yeah.
"Daddy, no."
Yeah.
But you
Daddy,
watch him take
no.
off his belt and start saying shit about how I raised you better than that.
And then Daddy, no! And he beats him up.
And
Anyway.
it's of a perfect frame, right? The last frame we ever see of this football player is him raising his hands in sheer terror, just trying to protect himself, as we can only assume was what the worst beatings of his entire life, worse than when Billy Madison or
And Billy
Deeds
Billy
Madison.
punched the crap out of him. Yeah, that's
so then,
right.
So Mr. Deeds goes home. He takes the $40 billion, but he doesn't do anything with it. Or no, he doesn't even care. I don't think.
No, he gives it away to a very
That's right.
specific agency.
He gives it away. He gives it away to the.
What's it called?
what is
What's
it?
that agency
Hold on,
called?
hold on.
Ladnie, no.
Hold on.
The
What is
college
it?
fund.
Yeah.
It's
College
UNCF is what it's called.
What is it?
We'll
It's
let
the
you look
United
at it.
Negro
We'll let the
College
viewer-
Fund. That's right.
Yeah.
And
I
he,
said the
there's the
word.
funniest
One of us
scene
had
in
to
the
say
movie.
it.
There's the funniest scene in the movie, like one of the funniest scenes in the movie, where he's like the guy behind who's working at like the front desk, like the president of the United Negro College Fund, and he like gets out like the letter opener. And he goes, "Oh, look, it's a check from Mr. Deeds. So it's pretty cool." Then he opens it up. He says $40 billion.
$40 billion.
And he has a heart attack
He
and
gets an
dies.
instant heart attack and just collapses dead
Now-
on the floor.
In hindsight, thinking back, we'll get to this part, but that money being given to them is really funny.
So-
yeah, because
Just think about the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that the guy D just killed a man, and then there's nothing out of it in the end.
You can't keep getting away with it.
There should have been a joke at the end of the movie where like a newspaper flies by and it's like black acceptance into college like higher than ever because he sent
Yeah,
$4
and then
billion.
immediately, all these colleges are now like getting this money, right? Who's gonna pay that off now that that money has been revoked?
I don't think he gets it revoked. I think the money got sent. I think they just
Well, no, because
pulled
remember it
$40
wasn't
billion.
his to give at the end of the movie.
That's true.
Yeah, technically it's not his. So
Well,
Which is what I was trying
happened
to
that
hint
money?
at.
I think
Yeah.
that you know, I'm sure Amelia was still like, yeah, give him the 40. Give him the 40
To
billion.
give them literally all of my money?
Yeah. It's like, go Amelia. The United Negro College Fund needs you.
Then where do you get the other billion to buy all the Corvettes?
Corvettes at
from?
the end
That's
of
a
the
good,
movie,
that's a good
yeah.
point. Anyway, so he goes back to fuck Bucketville, New Hampshire, or whatever, and he goes back to working as his pizza guy, and he gives up doing the Hallmark card dream because that's a real thing now, and that's coming back. Anyway, and then after he does that, Babe leaves her job. She's already fired, I guess. She's already left. So she goes to the place in New Hampshire, and then she goes to the pizza place where Mr. Deeds works, and she beats up the counter lady because
No,
well,
she
the counter
barely wins against the counter lady. She barely wins against
yeah,
the
but
counter
Yeah.
lady.
she did pretty good there at the end. It was a good and like that's like the one of the
Yeah.
good, that's a good line
But early on,
where
she goes.
she
You
gets
have to get past
stiff-armed
me
hard.
yeah, not stiff arm. She gets clotheslined.
That's right.
Like, and that was right on the neck too. Like she hit the floor like wet cement. Like it was rough.
Sack of hammers.
Yeah.
And so she just beats the crap out of him. There's the line where she keep kicking him in the vagina, and she goes, "What are you gonna do? I ain't got no balls." Which is when
Yeah.
Khan should have been edited into the film saying, "She bluffing, finish her." Anyway,
Anyways, so she finishes off by
like
hitting her in the
drop
face with
kicking
like
her.
dough,
Yeah, she hits
right?
her in the face with
No,
dough.
no, she hits her in the
can't
face with dough, blinds her. She blinds her, right? And we first say it because we're still in the whole like it's Yakuza. Thought she was about to go for the flying bicycle kick, but no, she just lands a pretty solid drop kick.
She's gonna rip a bicycle off the wall and beats him up. So because she beat the counter lady in trial by combat, she has earned the legal right to go talk to Deeds. So he's delivering a pizza to Steve Buscemi, who lives way at the end of the town. This is, by the way,
Keep in mind
apparently
it's
he,
winter time.
Apparently,
huh?
yeah.
Keep in mind it is winter time when this is set.
That's true,
Or at the very
yes.
least, it's
Yeah,
cold
yeah.
outside.
Nobody gave this poor woman from
Yeah, it
New
has
York
it has
a
been
map
months
because she
yeah, we didn't think about
crosses
this.
right over. She crosses right over a frozen over pond.
Well, hold on. We're forgetting the important thing. It's winter time, and the guy is still listening to "In the Summertime," or emanating in the
This man-
summertime, rather.
Yeah, and it's
Steve
like it's
Buscemi
revealed.
is the summer.
It's revealed that he knows that the company that Deeds lost was actually like has been like laying off hundreds of people and like doing terrible things. And the only reason why he knows that is because he watches the stock channel because he thinks the anchor is like a clown or something. What was it like?
Evil.
No,
Evil
he watched
leprechaun.
the stock channel because he knew that the guy who was trying to get all the money, the antagonist, was an evil leprechaun.
No, he thinks the guy on the news station. is
Was
a
it? I
leprechaun.
thought he was calling the
No.
Ginger Jameson.
But not him either. It's I don't know. I don't know.
All right, real
what
quick,
the line
Ladnie.
is. Yeah.
Rakinishu is in the Stony Field, right?
Yeah. Are you playing Diablo 2 while we're doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
by the way, our
you
first
made
episode
me get off
has
Balatro.
our
You gave me get off Balatro. You.
Well, I can play.
sick
I can play
man.
Diablo 2 without thinking or wanting to share it with people. So
our first
Well, I was about to turn off the. Go on.
our first episode has
Move.
now gone over an hour, so this is fun. So she tries to cross like an icy lake and falls in, and he thinks that he's getting
literally
punked
gonna
again.
die.
Yeah, he thinks that he's getting punked again until she says that she's sorry, and she starts to drown, and he takes off his foot. This is the only
Well,
reason
it's not,
why
it's not when she says she's sorry.
takes off his
It's
foot,
when
takes
she
off his
literally
shoe.
goes under.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta save her, else she'll die." I mean, even if she is trying to prank me, whatever, right? So he takes off his shoe, and this is the only reason why the Blackfoot exists in the movie. He doesn't show up ever again, and he just slams it through the ice to grab her and help her out, and it's like, what the hell? And then she goes, and then they go back to New York.
He didn't have
And-
to take
But
off
he
his shoe.
didn't
to
have
do
to
that, by
take
the
off
way.
Yeah,
the shoe.
he didn't have to take off.
No. The best
that was-
comment I managed to make in that entire movie was that he took off the shoe because otherwise his socks would get wet and then his foot would be cold. And Keaton bought it for half a second.
And then he realized immediately afterwards.
And that
"I
made
can't
me
feel it
so
anyway."
happy.
A little
So-
slow.
He breaks through the ice, right? And then they go back to New York where the shareholders meeting is going on, and they show up because they bought shares with the money that they had, because then they count as shareholders, which means they
Yeah.
can show up at the meeting. And
Well, the meeting is a very well-versed meeting. You've got the
Yeah,
Prince
yeah.
of Saudi Arabia,
yeah,
the
no, the
Monopoly
king,
Man,
no, the king of Saudi Arabia,
the
the
king,
Monopoly Man,
Sorry,
and then like
sorry.
the entire cast of Coming to America.
That is a bad joke to make.
Why?
That was not the entire cast of Coming to America.
Remember, we've already established he's the racist one.
That's true.
Oh, you gotta understand.
You
Anyway,
gotta stop this.
I gotta stop this. This is bad. Anyway,
Ladnie is not beating the allegations.
What are you,
Anyway.
a 12-year-old beating the allegations?
Okay, so they show up at the meeting because they have the right to, and Mr. Deeds gives a little speech about how nobody there actually is doing what they wanted to do with their lives, which is where you get the line where it's like, I want to be a veterinarian. It's like, why'd you want to do that? Because I wanted to help sick animals. It's like, well, do you do that now? And he goes, no, I operate a chain of slaughterhouses. He goes,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
The
and
best
then-
one though was the guy who owns the porn
I
website.
want to be a magician.
Okay.
Did you do that? No. What do you do now? I operate a pornographic website.
But
And it's not like
then-
it's not like can I go? He's kind of taking it
It's like,
back at
that
him,
still makes people
then he
happy,
goes-
I guess.
and then he just goes like, "Thank you." He's like he respects.
he
Yeah.
makes the comment of, "You're still pleasing people in a
Grosser
maybe
way.
albeit depraved way." But
I'm forgetting who it was, but someone says something along the lines of, "I want to be a woman," right?
Yes,
and-
yes.
and
the,
then he
the,
just
the
goes,
counter
and he
lady,
just goes,
she goes,
"Yeah,
I
that,
want to
that makes
be,
sense."
I wanted to be a
Oh
man.
yes.
He goes, that makes.
I wanted
so
to be
much
a man.
sense."
Yeah, this is the lady who literally got into a fist fight with the reporter lady.
And then so he manages to convince
well, no. It should be noted. He
And
then
sh-
makes the argument of, "Well, you wanted to do all these things where you're little now. So how little you feel about the fact that you're now robbing people out of the
And they
ability
all-
to do these
and
things?"
they go
And
It's
everyone
like
gets pissed off.
12-year-old me
With
would
their-
12-year-old me would beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, one of them. But the
Shut up.
porn guy comes back with the comment of, 6-year-old me would tie me to a chair and put cigarettes out on me.
Yeah, the guy's just really messed up. Like I hope someone helps
They make
him.
a comment about how he needs to like see a therapist or
Yeah.
something. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly, but
and then
Like dude, I think that was that him entirely talking was a cry for help.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't even
likely.
that guy wasn't even an actor.
that guy
he was
wasn't even
just
an
weird.
actor. He was just there. He thought it was a legitimate business meeting.
He just wandered on the set. So
He just wanted.
So Deeds manages to convince 51% of the shareholders.
No,
to
49%.
No,
of the
no.
shareholders.
The villain holds 49%. By the way, there's a
No,
villain.
he
in this
holds
No, the
51.
villain
Remember,
No,
because
no,
he
no,
has
no, no.
majority.
No, he holds
Yeah,
he holds
he has.
49, which means he holds majority, but he doesn't hold the full. Like, if he can't sway the vote by himself, which is why he manages to convince 51% of the people there that they should, instead of doing the terrible thing where they're going to lay off a bunch of people just for money, they're going to do the good thing. And then after the end of the speech, the villain goes, "Well, I just bought 40,000 extra shares, which means I have
He
51%.
represents the
Oh, yes,
3 million
that's it.
shares of overseas clients.
Which means that he has
Yeah.
actually he now counts as 51% of the vote, which means that he's the majority now. And then reporter lady comes in with the diary of the coolest man to ever live, and she goes, "Well, actually, that money doesn't belong to you anyway." And they go, "What are you talking?"
It doesn't belong
reads-
to Billy. It doesn't belong.
Yeah, and
Deeds
then
as well.
yeah, it doesn't belong to Deeds as well, which means that I guess the United Negro College Fund can go watch that check bounce and get fucked. I guess, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Um,
They
I
made this
imagine,
big
like,
deal about
they-
giving it to a good charity, and the check's
I
gonna
am. Yeah.
bounce.
Anyway.
I imagine like they already sent like maybe 50 some odd people to like
they
to
sent like
college, right?
hundreds of
Look,
thousands of people to college, and then they're like, no. I'm like, oh.
and then the check bounces, and the entire charity is now screwed.
Anyway, so reporter lady comes in with the cool guys, the coolest man to ever live, Mr. Blake or whatever, his diary, and she reveals that on some night he decided to have sex with the cleaning lady like George Costanza, and on his desk, just like George Costanza, and then 9 months later she gave birth to a son who and then died during childbirth, and she's actually Emilio is actually
The
the
actual-
billionaire's son. And there's the great
Yeah.
part where she's like, in like Imelda, whatever, or died in child, like died during childbirth. He goes, "That is my
yeah.
mother."
Mind
and,
you,
like,
at this
day, and he goes,
point,
"That is my birthday." And like, "That is your my money. That is your money."
yeah. So mind you, at this point, he's still doing his little teleport hijinks, right? This one is the most wild one.
He's like
Because-
probably like maybe 50 meters away from the podium
He is
on a
he is
separate
not,
floor.
not just he is on a separate floor. He's in like a little overhang balcony, right? And then suddenly he's at the podium. The evil CFO dude is on the ground, like down with everybody else, and he just goes banishment.
Yeah, and then like two like hired thugs like appear and just drag him out of the room. Like he says,
As
"You're
far as
fired,"
we
and
know,
then
that
just
that-
he's dead. That dude
That
died.
CFO dude is like
Emilio
what's his
now
face
has
from,
enough money
from
to
Mortal
kill
Kombat.
him.
He just takes that dude's soul.
Yeah, like Shao Kahn.
Yeah,
Your
Shao Kahn.
soul
He's just
is
Shao Kahn.
mine.
Yeah.
And Emilio now has enough money to disappear with no repercussions. So yeah, like he should have died.
Speaking of disappear, he just straight up gives Deeds $1 billion.
Yeah, because he's like, Deeds,
and Deeds
Deeds,
is
I
just-
must reward you, and he goes, no, I don't need anything. How about $1 billion? Okay.
Yeah, and Deeds isn't like crap. I'll take $1 billion. It's not like Bill Orban. He just goes, I guess you can give me $1 billion. Like I won't argue against
And-
it, but I won't ask for more.
At the beginning of the movie, Deeds makes a promise to the town of Fuckbucketville that he's going to he's going to give them all Corvettes when he comes back with the $40 billion. So the last shot of the movie is everybody in the town driving red Corvettes around.
And Steve Buscemi trying to drive a red.
And we had this conversation though where it was like, because the final scene is like a montage of like what's happening in Fuckbucketville, and it's like that's not the actual name of the town. I don't remember what it's called. And
It might as well be.
It's like
might as well be called Fuckbucketville. And it's Deeds and reporter lady happily married working at the pizza store, and I made the appointments like, wow, she gave up on her dream of becoming a reporter, and Connor rightly pointed out she gave up on her dream of becoming a reporter to marry a dude at $1 billion.
yeah,
Right?
I don't think
That's
the
very
reporter part is
realistic.
an issue now.
Better yet, it's a dude who has $1 billion that she's in love with. So it's
And
not
he's
just
a
like,
good person.
yeah, it's not like she's just marrying some
Like,
guy.
out
She's
of, like,
picking
all these-
happiness, but also he has $1 billion.
And most of these movies, like his like love life is marrying someone who's like mentally a 2-year-old, right? This one,
Yeah.
he's like
He's actually a good,
he's a bit backwards, right? Because he's from
he's
the
a bit
country.
he's a
right?
bit he's a bit like
But it's-
violent, but
One of you to imply is people being from the country makes them
well,
backwards.
we made the joke right of that one gif of like how I see his red flags.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then yeah, and then the movie ends with Steve Buscemi crashing into a tree. I mean, we gotta also point out that not only does he have $1 billion, he's also best friends with the richest man in America.
Like,
Yeah.
if he somehow needs more, he could go, "Hey,
Can I get like
buddy, old pal,
can I
let-
pay off my mortgage real quick? He's like, sure. It's like, why didn't you handle this when you had the $1 billion? Like, I don't know.
I had to go buy
I
a."
have to buy some cars for my
I had to
The
go
buddy.
better
buy
question is,
50
all of that
Corvettes.
money that he gave away is now all of it invalid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the end of the plot of Mr. Deeds. So I guess we should do our opinions. Where would you rate it on a scale of 5 out of 5?
Wicked out
Out
of
of 5 out
5.
of 5.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what's your star rating for it? Because I gave it 3
In
stars.
terms of Adam Sandler movies, I think it's a 4. In terms of movies overall, I think it's a 3.
I think 3 is a pretty good spot for it.
Yeah, like
It
it's
is. It is.
it doesn't
It is not a
reinvent
movie that I would
itself,
watch by
right?
myself, but if it were on and I was by myself, I'd probably watch it. It is a movie 100% that I would put on if I were having a sleepover.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's just so. It's a good movie to sit
Compared
there
to
and
some
make
of the
fun of
other
and laugh at. Like,
some of the other like Adam Sandler movies where you just feel genuinely uncomfortable watching
yeah,
them.
like some of them are just like depressing and make you feel uncomfortable, and it's like this one had even its attempts at humor that didn't really land were still funny. They
Yeah.
just weren't as funny as they should have been.
And like some of the comedy was just realistic reactions to a situation of like
How many cats do you have?
like
7.
like the cat.
Holy shit!
Oh. Yeah.
What's your opinion regarding the film, Connor?
I mean, I don't know. If I were to truly judge it, I'd have to watch it alone and see how good it is because, as you said,
know, our
movies with friends definitely changes how good the movie is.
See, like, okay,
But
so when I rate a film on Letterboxd, I've reappraised my rating system. If a movie gets 3 stars, that is the minimum that I will watch a movie by myself at.
that's
If
fair,
it's 2.5 stars, it is a peak movie to watch with a bunch of friends.
right? But I
Because
mean,
there are 5-star movies that I like on my Letterboxd review that I would not watch with friends.
sure, because that's how you ruin those movies.
Yeah.
But it's just how to put it. I enjoyed the movie, but I don't know that I would have alone. It's not like there are some Adam Sandler movies that I would just watch alone, right? Or because I'm bored, or because I'm feeling down. For instance, Waterboy, because that's a
Need
movie I
to
used to watch just with my
Waterboy.
dad. You
Yeah.
what?
I need to watch The Waterboy. You
It's
come home
just
from work, I'm like, I want to
Yeah.
kill myself. I gotta go watch Bobby Boucher.
pretty much. But this is not one of those movies. It was enjoyable, so I don't know. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. It was a good movie. I had fun.
Are we all accordance with? Are we all in accordance with the 2.5?
I'm fine with this.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was wicked.
It
it was way better than 8.5.
You really hate Federico Fellini.
That was such a bad movie. And what's better is you keep trying to justify it, but you cannot tell me anything that happened in that movie, except for that in one
Ben.
part they had a French girl and an American girl, and they were just both idiots.
Ben.
Bene.
Ben.
Pizza de
Okay.
pasta.
Pizza de pasta.
And that's why we're going to hell when we die.
Being Italian,
Not just
No, for
one of
pissing
us.
off the Pope.
that works.
Not just one of us. All of us.
All of
Because
us.
we're
are
on a
going.
podcast.
That's
I'm the
reason.
Pope's
going to
top
hell.
guy.
Yeah, don't you know that the podcast is the end of all friend groups?
The Pope chose me to lead the revolution.
All right.
Sorry,
gonna
you weren't
do?
funny enough. We're gonna have to ask you to lead the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's
Been voted off the island.
I think that's it for this episode. I don't know. I don't have anything else to talk about related to Mr. Deeds. So
We should do our podcast like Survivor. We have to vote one person out every time.
well, actually, I'm about to do
Good
something kind of
Eventually, it'll just be an
Um,
hour of silence with a back
Yeah, there'll just be one guy by the end, and
And
he
he
just
wins.
he mumbles about the movie
This
by
is-
himself.
And this is Ladnie.
You have to
here
do it in a
again.
depraved
I'm
and
starting to see.
insane
I'm
manner.
starting to see hallucinations of Adam Sandler while I watch these movies. He's in this room with me talking.
Okay, so
Be gone, apparition!
okay, so since our first episode was a bad movie, we decided that the system is gonna be
Which is
that
weird that we're calling it a bad movie.
It was
even though
not.
we all
Listen,
really
it was.
enjoyed it.
It was
We
not.
all enjoyed it.
We all enjoyed it, but it was
You're-
not like
we went-
high art.
You're the one who hates. You are the
Okay.
one who hates Adam Sandler with a
We
burning
went
passion.
into it
We
thinking
went
it was
into
going to be a bad movie, but it was surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got a lower.
No,
It's got lower than 3
my
stars on
vote-
Letterboxd. So
You already
that's our
know what
bad
my
threshold.
vote is for.
So I'm gonna spin a wheel with our names on it, and then whoever comes up gets to pick the next movie, and it can be whatever movie we want, but hopefully one that the person really enjoys, so we don't have to watch like
No,
we
no,
don't have
I'm
to
gonna
watch
just
Santa
take
Claus
something.
Conquers the Martians and then have to sit there and go, no.
That is the greatest movie. Shut up.
Okay, so I'm
I'd
gonna.
say we should do something seasonal.
Dude,
Well,
I'm picking a phenomenal. I have a phenomenal.
Like
movie ready for you.
Gremlins.
all right, I'm gonna spin the wheel. I don't know if it's gonna come up on audio or not.
Probably not.
And Caleeb is picking the next movie for the next episode.
Okay.
Fuck yes.
Dear
We're doing
God.
Real Steel.
May
Real
God have mercy
Steel
on
robot boxing.
Robot boxing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite movie.
This is your favorite
One
movie.
of them, anyways. One of them. It's the top 3.
Okay. I would have suggested Tokyo Godfathers if I were on it, but
Yeah, but you didn't win.
But you're not.
The wheel
That's
didn't
true.
decide you.
what were
The
y'all
wheel
what
did
were
not
y'all
see-
going to go with if you would pull it up?
If
Okay,
I
it was
had-
either between
okay,
Real
Keaton-
Steel and Shaolin Soccer for me.
Yeah.
Fair. The issue with Shaolin Soccer is I don't know where we would watch it.
And
We,
yeah, that's the thing is
I'll rent it, dude.
I don't know how well we'll be able
That's
to
fair.
translate something that I can't just understand. Like I can read
Well,
it, right?
you
But I don't know
need
how well I'm gonna be able to.
But that's not what I'm getting at. What I was getting at is that it's not on any website.
Oh yeah, because you're only able to find clips of it on YouTube.
Yes. I mean, I bet I
Yeah.
could find it, but
what were you
it
going
just-
to
it would be a
choose,
bit scuffed.
Keaton? I mean, we kind of put you on the spot, but
Jingle All the
Yeah,
Way with
Keaton.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know that should be
We're
in the
gonna be
bad
watching-
movie
We
threshold,
were just
but
gonna
I
be watching
still.
Red One, starring
Would-
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Okay, Red One.
I have to get the dog
The
for
movie that one
Jamie.
person will see.
I have to get the turbo man dog for Johnny.
Jamie.
Come on, get to
Uh,
the sled.
Connor,
do
what
the
were you gonna
sled.
go with?
what was the name of the movie? I can't think of it right now. Hold on, give me 2 seconds to get murdered by this character.
Okay. I was gonna go with Tokyo Godfathers because it's a Japanese Christmas movie. And it's really good, and I haven't seen it this year yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it this year yet. Says a lot about
Once
you
again,
as a person.
I think we should just not allow Ladnie to pick movies because
No,
No,
Every
Tokyo
time you pick
Godfathers is
something that maybe
good.
3 people have heard of.
you pick movies that nobody's ever heard of.
But Tokyo Godfathers is good. It's by Satoshi Kon. It's like one of the best, like Miyazaki, but not Miyazaki. It's
I
about,
don't know who any of these people are besides
It's-
Miyazaki.
It's about homeless people who find a baby in the garbage.
Not the Miyazaki you're thinking of.
The Elden Ring guy.
Oh, so I really don't know any
Hayao
of these people that you're talking
Miyazaki.
about. Yeah, I don't know any of
Okay.
these people, man.
Anyway, Tokyo Godfathers is about homeless people who find a baby in the garbage and they have to raise it on
Okay.
Christmas.
Let me see. Let me look at the list. I could just take one of the 13 movies. Just go wildly out of pocket.
We never finished the 13 series,
What
did we?
movie would I want?
We'll finish the 13 series outside of podcast.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm gonna be completely real with you. Just to get it over with, Ocean's 11.
The remake or the original?
The original.
The big
Ah.
casino.
Oh, no.
No, that'll be
I
our
want to
bonus
talk
episode.
about getting the big casino really badly.
That'll be our bonus episode. We'll do that. We'll
Uh,
do that on the 11th episode.
That's
The,
fair. If
the
we make it
big
that
the
far.
casino.
best part of that movie is
They-
the end with it.
Do we all get the big casino before we make it to the movie?
We all
it's
die at the big
entirely
casino.
plausible.
God, I hope so. Alright, now save this recording and then delete it and then smash your computer with a sledgehammer.
So we can
So
never
that
prove
we
that we were
never-
going to
Finally-
watch.
We can
Yeah.
never prove that we were on a podcast. God forbid.
No, this is
No,
going
I
on
need you to.
YouTube.
No, I need you to edit that. I need you to edit that last part and just have Keaton saying we were on a podcast.
It's a
And
credits.
just have that
Let
as-
me tell you
as-
about my
as
time when I
soundboard.
was on a podcast.
I got voted off.
We was
next
on a
episode.
podcast.
I'm just
We
gonna
was
I'm just gonna sentence McKeaton into saying I love podcasts.
Just slowly.
Oh, my
building the
companion
soundboard.
died. Fuck.